And the author of Pure Food is here. Veronica is going to share one of her plant-based recipes with us. But right now we do have 5 things we want you to know about before you get your day started. And say good morning to Veronica. She's going to tell us what Pure Food is all about. And then she's going to make us an avocado pesto. That's what I'm talking about. That's all next on The Mix. All right, welcome back. She started the very popular Pure brand in her very own kitchen when her daughter decided to become a vegetarian. Almost 10 years later, her brand is nationally sold and she has 3 different lines of products in addition to just launching her first vegetarian cookbook. Joining me now is Veronica. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I intentionally left off the age of your daughter because I think it's really interesting, your story behind how you got this far. Tell me about her decision and how old she was.
Well, she was 6 years old, and that was in 2006. And so, you know, she was very young, and at the dinner table one night, she just asked me what we were eating, and I explained to her it was chicken. And she made the connection between chicken on the farm and chicken on her plate, and she didn't want to have anything to do with it. So she decided right then and there she was going to become a vegetarian. And I decided to support her in that decision, and so I started researching how to cook more vegetarian, wonderful plant-based foods. And it's really led us on a journey of eating healthier as a family, and so it's been wonderful. And of course it inspired my company, Pure Organic.
Was that challenging for you though, knowing that was she the only one really of the kids that kind of made that stance so early on?
She was, but she was the oldest, so my poor other kids kind of by default just got brought along. But you know, and I'm not a Nazi about it. They do occasionally eat meat, you know, if they want to. I don't force them into that, but we do cook mainly vegetarian meals in our home, and they, you know, they love it. You know, it's kids like what they're used to, right?
Sure, absolutely. Well, we have a picture of your family. There they are. Look at that, right on cue. What a gorgeous looking family that you have.
Thank you.
And obviously they're growing up, and you are to the point now where you're ready to help other families who are maybe ready to start their kids young or just get started on it on their own, right?
Yeah. I mean, what inspired me to write the cookbook as a busy mom and an entrepreneur and running a company, I totally understand the challenges of creating a good meal for your family. And so I wanted to kind of share my secrets. I'm from the Midwest, born and raised, so I took a lot of my favorite Midwestern recipes that I watched my mom and my grandma cook, and I gave them kind of a healthy makeover. So you still have comfort food, but it's a little bit healthier. I talk about different ingredients like using coconut oil instead of butter and swapping out flours. And so, you know, my goal is to inspire people to get back into the kitchen and to just really not be intimidated by it and to cook simple, healthy, whole meals for their family.
And before we get to what you're making today, talk about your line of bars that you have out there for people on the go.
So in 2000, and shortly after my daughter became a vegetarian, I started making these bars because I wanted something that was nutritionally balanced but really clean, and of course for a 6-year-old, very delicious. And so we have a line of fruit and nut bars, which is the original. It's a date-based bar. Everything we do is organic, gluten-free, non-GMO, and vegan. We just came out with our line of ancient grain bars, which is a little bit more crispy. It's like kind of like a Rice Krispie treat. Again, very healthy, made with whole grains like quinoa, flax, hemp. And then we also have a wonderful line of fruit snacks that are made with just fruit juices and purees, no cane syrups or tapioca syrups. And so, you know, the premise of the company is similar to the premise of the book, which is just cooking and eating whole, real, organic foods. And these are, you know, kind of convenient when you can't eat at home, which we all, you know, know what that's like. And then the cookbook is for when you can cook at home.
Okay, where can people find your items?
They're sold in Meijer, a wonderful partner. We're also sold in the natural food stores around here, Nature's Market and Harvest Health. We're sold nationwide in Safeways and Kroger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everywhere. All right.
Sam's Club actually has this one as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, go ahead and show us what you can make. This is another great recipe for people who maybe are going to Memorial Day festivities next weekend. This
is terrific for a Memorial Day party. What I love about this recipe is there's so much that you can do with the pesto. You can put it on pasta, which is the traditional way, but you can also serve it as a dip with crackers that I brought today. My daughter loves to spread it on toast in the morning.
Oh, yum.
You can bake a pizza crust and spread it on there with some fresh tomatoes. So it's very versatile, and you'll see, I mean, I almost feel like an imposter making this here today because there's almost nothing to do. But just 4 ingredients, and all you have to turn on is your food processor. So great for a hot summer night as well.
Yeah, right.
So we have our 2 cups of basil. This is such a wonderful summer herb. A lot of people are starting it in their garden right now.
Yeah, basil's nice.
We have your pine nut, which is a traditional pesto ingredient. This adds richness, a little bit of protein, of course, as well.
It smells good already.
It does. The basil
yeah, the basil's great.
It's so great. I put a little bit of avocado oil in here. You can also use olive oil, which is kind of the traditional pesto oil. I use avocado because it's a little bit more mild.
Okay.
And I really like my pesto to be green, so I love that basil to come
Adds
through.
to it.
And then the unique ingredient is wonderful avocado, which actually takes the place of the cheese in the pesto.
I was going to point that out. A lot of people don't realize if you put avocado on your sandwich instead of cheese,
yes.
if you didn't even know it, a lot of people would think that it's cheese.
Yes, and avocado is such a wonderful food, and again, so versatile. You can really replace a lot of dairy, and anytime you need something creamy, because it's such a mild flavor,
right.
But it gives a richness, so it works really, really well in a pesto, and it makes it completely dairy-free and vegan if you're trying to cut back on animal products a little bit.
Absolutely.
So then it's very simple. You just pulse it up. You can see how beautiful it gets.
I need to invest in one of those.
Oh, it's so great. But you can also actually, sometimes I want it to be a little chunkier.
Okay.
You can do it by hand. You can crush your pine nuts, just like you would kind of a graham cracker crust.
Oh, okay.
You can chop your basil and mix all your ingredients by hand, and it gives you a really nice, chunky, almost salsa-looking pesto.
Yeah. Sure.
So that's an option as well. This is, of course, the easy way to.
But she's getting that. I want to point out you have 2 upcoming book signings right here in Michigan. You're going to be at Harvest Health Foods in Hudsonville on May 21st, and then you're going to be at Schuler Books in Lansing on May 28th. So people have an opportunity to come grab your book and get it signed and get going on those recipes, right?
Yes, and if you want to see the whole schedule, you can go to thepurebar.com, and we have a little page that says Pure Food Cookbook, and you can view all of our products, you can look at the cookbook, and all the events are also on that page. I'm just going to blend one more time because I forgot to add the sea salt.
Oh, sea salt, sure. A little
bit of salt. And then you can add a little bit of pepper as well, just to taste. And I tell people to get creative with this recipe. You can grind a little orange rind in there. You can put garlic in there, which is a kind of a traditional pesto ingredient as well. So this is kind of a base recipe. Play with it, make it your own.
It's very pretty.
Whatever you like.
Great. Thanks so much for stopping by. It's really nice meeting you.
Thank
And your
you.
website once again is?
Thepurebar.com.
We'll check it out. All right.